And this kid's like looking up like this and there's blood everywhere. He's like, okay, guys, don't do that. Like if I had seen them doing that, I would kick them out of the class. And I was like, dang, what? We don't know this guy, we gotta go. Where's the coaches? We need to leave, get out now. He fell, knocked out his 4 front teeth and had to get 4 fake ones. Hello y'all, today I'm going to be sharing some random stuff that happens in tennis lessons because I don't know really what else to do. And I have the most random weird stories from taking tennis lessons. Also, I have a special surprise. I have a very special guest with us today. Let me go get him. Say hi to Ralphie, everyone. He's gonna be in the next few videos. Isn't he beautiful? Isn't he gorgeous? Anyways, if you want to hear the story of how I got this guy, then, I don't know, like the video? Yeah, believe it or not, I acquired him through school. If you want to hear random school stories, then yeah. Anyways, so I got my notebook here and today, what? I already said that. Bethany, walk in, okay? Today, wait. Stop! Anyways, so now I'm going to read to you guys some of my tennis stories. First off, I'm gonna tell the story of how I've like gotten into tennis and stuff. Ever since I was little, I kind of wanted to play tennis. I don't know. I never seen people play tennis or anything. I've never picked up a racket. I wanted to play tennis. So my mom was like, okay. And then wait like another 5 years and then I finally get lessons. Anyways, so I started off when I was like 12 or 11. I don't really remember. My uncle played tennis in high school. So my mom was like, okay, well you can go play tennis with him. He can teach you. He taught me like the basics, I think. Fast forward like another 2 years. And it's like the last few weeks of my, I think it was 7th grade year. And my mom is looking around for where to do tennis. And there's these 2 places. One is somewhere that someone I knew from school went to. And she played tennis and she went to this place. But it's kind of expensive. And then the other is cheap and everybody goes there. I started off with the expensive one. I don't know why. I think I said I wanted to go there because the girl from school went there. That was kind of my friend. My first lesson. So for all the people in my lessons and all my coaches, I had to come up with names for these people. So I had like a system of how to keep track of who's who because I also forgot the names of the actual people, some of them. So my first ever lesson was with my coach. We're gonna call him Brian. I literally can't do this. Brian, he kind of runs like the whole tennis thing at this place. So where I go to tennis, it's like a gym, but they have like tennis classes and he kind of runs all of it. So I don't know how the heck he had time to like do a private lesson. He also does like the group lessons with kids. There's other coaches. I don't know how he has time to do this. For that lesson, my mom like kind of sat inside the court. Also, it's indoor courts to paint a picture for you. And then he taught me like all of like the basic moves, like forehand, backhand, volleys, serves, like the basics, you know? And he was like, wow, you're really good for your first time. And I thought I was like the best person ever. I genuinely thought I was a natural. I thought I was so good. I literally thought I was eating down. I wasn't. Anyways, my mom wanted me to go into a group with other kids. And there are 4 levels for those of you who don't know tennis. There's red ball, orange ball, green ball, and yellow ball, which yellow ball is just a normal tennis ball. And my mom wanted me to go into orange ball. Anyways, the first lesson, the first lessons are good. So after a few tennis lessons, one day he asks, we're having an orange ball group this Wednesday. You want to come? It'll be free. You can just check it out. And I don't want to go at all. I'm absolutely terrified. I don't know why. I just am. But my mom makes me go because she knows what's better for me. So I join orange ball. Okay. I go the first lesson. There's 2 kids. We're going to call them Jack and Jennifer. So Jack and Jennifer are the only 2 kids that show up to this orange ball group. And me, of course. And Brian's teaching this group. It's normal. I don't know. I was just super nervous because like I didn't know these kids. And like also, by the way, there were like Jennifer was like maybe 4 years younger than me. Jack is like 2 years. Actually, I'm over exaggerating. Jennifer's like the same age as Jack, I think. I don't know, but they were younger than me. So basically, after that lesson, I kept going to orange ball. But the only other kid besides me that would show up was Jack. Like, that was it. So people kept filling in for us. This is when I met, wait, what'd I name him? This is when I met Mike for the first time. That's such an awful name. I'm sorry if you're watching this. He is one of my main coaches. He is like the main coach for Orange Ball, but a lot of people had to fill in. I remember one day, there's this guy. His name's Ben. He's filling in as well, okay? And again, it's just me and Jack. We were doing a drill, like just a normal forehand drill, but we weren't like following through all the way. So what he did is he made us hold like this giant like yoga ball while we were hitting, so that way we couldn't hit it to like our chest. Oh, I hit the mic, sorry. We couldn't hit it to our chest because it would hit the yoga ball. So it like forced us to go like this. Ben, he fed me a ball and I like could not see it because this giant yoga ball was in the way. I couldn't see it. So when I hit it, hold on, here's my racket. We're gonna use an example. Anyways, so I hit it. It hits like the edge of my racket, bounces down to the ground, and bounces up and hits him. Anyways, I felt so bad, but I also was kind of laughing at the same time. But also, he was standing there laughing. I don't know why. Like that's painful. Why? Anyways, why? Okay, I'm done. Anyways, another story. Me and my mom walk in to see Jack and his mom and this guy. I've never met him. I never saw him. He was a coach. He was like, yeah, so there's no orange ball today because like there's only 2 kids coming, so we're kind of like canceling it for this day. And then my mom's like, wait, well, Brian told me that there's orange ball lessons today. And so this guy, he's like, okay, well, I guess I can just teach you guys today. So his name, well, it's not his name. This is the name, what we're going to call him. We're going to call him Luke. Luke, he was really nice. He was really chill. And, well, they all are. They're all great. I should also say this. I am the biggest introvert. I'm like, I will say maybe up to like 3 words in a tennis lesson, or I just don't say a single word at all. I literally do not talk. I do not speak to anyone. I don't know why. I don't. So, anyways, back to, Luke. So we walk into the court, me and Jack. He looks at me. He's like just talking about all these drills and he just goes, and your shirt is bad. It actually took me a minute. I was so confused. I was like, why did this guy just roast my t-shirt I'm wearing? What did I do? And then I realized that I'm wearing a Texas A&M t-shirt, which is the college that my parents went to. And I was like, oh, no, it's not. But he was chill. And then we talked about violin. I don't know why. This is when I join green ball. And this is when it gets the most chaotic. I have a lesson with Brian because he says he's been seeing me in orange ball and thinks I should move up. So we have a private lesson and I'm doing horrible in my brain. I think I'm doing awful. Like, I can do like forehands, backhands. I can do those pretty well. But when I'm rallying, I suck. I do awful. So he's like, oh my gosh, you're so good. You should go to yellow ball. But we don't have a yellow ball group. So you should go to green ball. And I was like, okay. Okay. But I'm like, I don't want to because I literally think I literally am so bad because in the private lesson, we didn't do any rallying. But he still thinks I should go to green. I don't know. I was literally so terrified, again, for joining another group. By the way, guys, this whole time, my parents are like, at least my mom, she's wanting me to go to the cheap tennis group because it's cheaper. And I'm staying for the sole reason that the coaches are incredible. Like, that's, like, of course, I have OCD. I hate change. So, of course, I don't want to go to the cheaper place. But I want to stay so bad because I love the coaches so much. You guys are incredible. And Brian, you are literally the best person ever on earth, ever. And okay, he's such a, okay, when we're swinging, to figure out what we're doing wrong, he does like the same thing and like, he just kind of zones out and like thinks of what you're doing and then he fixes it. He's just so good. I don't know how, like, yeah. And I don't like, say anything because I'm too scared to say anything for some reason. So just so y'all know, all the coaches, y'all are great. Anyways, moving on. I go to green ball for the first time. I think it was a Sunday. So most of these kids, there were like maybe 8 kids, which is a huge difference because I used to go to orange ball with 2 kids. I go the first day. Both Mike and Brian are teaching in this group because there's 8 kids. And my foot's asleep again. I'm so done. We do 2 lines of a warm-up, which is just like hand feeds. We're hitting forehands, backhands, whatever. There's one on this side of the court and one on this side. Like the ends, like the devil's alley. So I'm in line with, I think, 2 or 3 other guys who are, I think, like maybe a year or 2 younger than me. Okay. And there's this one kid. We gonna call him Frank, okay? He was like your basic average middle school kid. He was talking about how buns Mike's feeds are, like hand feeds. He saw me, a new kid. Also, Mike is from Ecuador, and he speaks Spanish. Like, I think that's his main language, which is funny, because I feel like Mike is the most basic American name, but I literally couldn't think of anything else. So, anyways, Mike, the first few months I did tennis, he called me Bettany. Not Bethany, but Bettany, because he could not pronounce it, which is fine. I don't care. Frank, he was talking about how buns Mike's feeds are, and he was like, hey, at least Bettany doesn't know how buns your feeds are. I literally tried so hard not to just burst out laughing. Girl, like, you think, okay, I guess like the first time he heard my name was Mike saying it, and so he just called me Bettany because he thought that was my name. Maybe he just didn't want to get it wrong, you know? I don't know. I think he was trying to include me. Anyway, so all these kids, they went on Sundays to tennis, and I hated it. I don't know why. I just felt like I was doing so bad, and I just like felt awful. I just like hated going there. So I would like make excuses to not go. But at the same time, I felt so bad because I felt like I was letting Brian down by not going. I miss a lot. And my mom's like, okay, well, you should do makeup on Tuesdays. And I'm scared to go on Tuesdays, of course. Why wouldn't I be? Anyways, I do a makeup day on Tuesday, and I loved it. It was like the entire dynamic was so different. A couple of the kids that went on Sunday went to Tuesday, but like most of them didn't. And it was great. The kids were like so nice. I mean, the kids in both classes were so nice, but like these kids they were awesome, bro. They were a lot more chill, and like also I don't know why, but the kids who went to Sunday were like far more experienced than the kids who went on Tuesday, and like older and like more stronger, so they could hit the ball harder. And so there were these kids, we're gonna call them Duke and Katie, and Duke was an icon. He was so funny. He would also say like random memes, but he was also like super chill. But also there was like less kids who went on Tuesday, so it was way less overwhelming. So I think, yeah, I don't know. That's probably why I liked it. But also Duke, everyone also called him Michael Jackson because he randomly like do the weird hee thing. So all the coaches called him Michael Jackson. And oh my gosh, I just remembered a story. Okay. One time he didn't show up, and everyone's like, hey, where's Duke? And then one of his friends like, yeah, where's Duke? And then one of the girls, who was also his friend, was like, you mean Michael Jordan? I was literally about to burst out laughing, and no one corrected her, and I feel so bad. It's okay, we all make mistakes, girly. Anyways, there's also this girl named, we're gonna call her Katie, and she was also Duke's friend, and she also went to the same theater the same theater group that Kendall is in, my little sister. I'm sure if you're not new here, you've seen her in videos. There's also this kid named, we're gonna call him Blake, who went to Sundays, but he also went to Tuesdays, and like it was just more chill Tuesdays. I don't know. And there's one time he pulled out his phone. It was like watching like a football game or something on his phone, and everyone was surrounding him. And Brian was so done. He was like, I don't like this. I'm gonna like make y'all do push-ups or something. Like, why did he pull out his phone anyway to watch a football game? Anyways, I did a couple makeups on Tuesday, but I still went Sunday, and I just hated it. Anyways, there's this one girl, we're gonna call her Cassie. So we're doing a drill. We have to do like a forehand, run up, do a volley, then like shuffle over to the side, and then hit an overhand. Anyways, she's up. She does the forehand. She does the volley. She's shuffling, but then she falls down and is like laying there on her back, and we're all like, oh my gosh, are you okay? But by this, Brian had already like served, or not served, he had already fed the ball to do the overhand. And you know what she does? Instead of getting up and moving on, she stays there, she's laying there, she's waiting for the ball, and just hits it over and makes it. Like, holy aura. Like, props to you, girl. You're incredible. Anyways. And then she moved on to champions, and I never saw her again, so. Which, like, well-deserved after that. I'm going to, oh yeah, by the way, I switched to Tuesdays because I just hated Sundays so bad, and my parents agreed, like, that they wanted Sundays to be more free because we go to church on Sundays, and it was just, like, our chill day. So, I go to Tuesdays. I'm happy. It's great. I miss a couple weeks, and I come back, half the kids are gone. What are you guys doing in the span of like 2 or 3 weeks that makes you leave? I know Duke was gone. Blake and his older brother. No, Blake was gone. He kept saying that he was doing like, his older brother kept saying that he was doing baseball or something. But then after a couple weeks, then his older brother leaves. Katie, she's gone for a while. She comes again for 1 week. And then she says that her legs hurt. And so she leaves early, and then I never see her again. So she's gone. And then, like, just a bunch of kids are leaving, and I'm, like, so sad because now going on Tuesdays, which I still do, by the way, to Greenball on Tuesdays, is so completely different. Like, the kids are different, and I'm kind of sad because I really liked the kids who went to Tuesdays. I'm pretty sad about this, and because I missed those couple weeks, I want to do makeup work, but I don't want to go on Sundays. So instead, I go on Thursdays, which I was scared, but I was a little less scared because last time when I tried Tuesdays, it was great. I loved it. So I was like, okay, maybe Thursdays is good. Thursdays, okay. I still go on Thursdays now, but it's different. I'm trying to think. Oh, yeah. Okay. So I go Thursdays, and there are a few new kids, but there also are a couple kids that went on Tuesdays that come here on Thursdays. And these kids are so sweet. They're not necessarily as chaotic or as the Tuesday ones, which I still love them, but they're just straight up they're just straight up nice. Like, they're so nice. Also, it's a smaller group. There's maybe 5 kids at a time. There was this super sweet girl. Her name is, or that's not her name, but we're gonna call her Maddie. She's so sweet. There's also this kid, we're gonna call him Nolan, which, again, I'm sorry for the names. And he also has a sister, Samantha. And so me, Nolan, and Maddie are on a team, and we're playing this game called Cow, which, if you play tennis, maybe you've heard of this game, but basically there's 3 players on one side, 3 players on the other. And basically, the first player up has to beat those 3 players on the other side in order to win a cow. And you need, like, 2 or 3 cows to win. I think 3. We normally change the number. But anyways, so we're on this team. I win us a cow, and they're, like, full... Like, I beat one person, and they're, like, full on cheering me on. They're like, let's go, Bethany! And I'm like, I feel like they're just so nice. And then I beat the other 2 people, and they're like, yeah, good job, Bethany, you did so good. And they're, like, high-fiving me, and I'm like, I've never said a word to you my entire life. And it's, like, they're just so nice. They were so nice. Anyways, so one of the, I think it was it was Thursday. It was one of the Thursday classes. It was around some sort of holiday. I can't remember which holiday. And both Mike and Ben were gone, which are the, Mike, Ben, and Brian are the main, like, coaches for the kids. Mike and Ben are gone, and it's only Brian who is here to teach us. But he, at that same time, he has to teach green ball, which is us, but also orange ball. So he has this older kid who's probably just a few years older than me. And he comes to, like, I guess, teach us. He's not really teaching us. He's just kind of doing games with us because, like, again, he's really good at tennis, but, like, he's not a coach, of course. So we just kind of do games. I actually forgot his name completely. So we're going to call him, we're going to call him Dave. Because, like, too bad. We're calling you Dave. Anyways, we're playing Foursquare, which is just tennis, but it's short court, and it's basically like Foursquare. I don't know how to explain it. Dave, he goes to help out the orange ball now, and Brian comes back to help us. We're doing a drill where I think, oh yeah, so we're just like kind of running across the court and doing 2 or 3 forehands. All the kids all of a sudden are starting to look over at the orange ball court, and they're like, oh geez. And then Dave is like helping like one of these kids. He's like kind of pushing him like towards like Brian, or like towards like the green ball court. I look over and this kid's like looking up like this, and I'm like, oh no. And then Dave's like, hey Brian, we need some help. Brian looks over and this kid's like looking up like this, and there's blood everywhere. So Brian goes over to help, and they like escort the kid like out, like looking like this, which by the way, guys, I know that's like what everyone thinks is like when you have a bloody nose, look up because you don't want it to like drip. Do not do that. Do not do that. That makes it 10 times worse. You can start bleeding out of your eyes. Don't. It like the blood just goes back down and it can like go into your throat or come out your eyes. Don't do that, okay? You can risk getting a stain on the carpet, okay? Brian comes back and he's like, they're all like wiping up the blood off the floor, and we kind of see like blood splattered all over the court. And he was like, yeah, sorry about that, guys. A kid had a bloody nose. Anyways, next story. So we were doing green ball, and there was also champions, which is like, actually, I don't know if it's champions. There's some sort of like really like a group of really good kids, and there's like maybe 30 of them, and they're playing on these 2 or 3 courts. And some of the guys noticed that like they're jumping over the net, and they're like, whoa, they're jumping over the net. And then Brian looks over and he's like, okay, guys, don't do that. Like if I had seen them doing that, I would kick them out of the class. And I was like, dang, what? But he backed up his story. He said that he used to teach at another tennis place, or he used to coach, sorry, my bad. And there's this kid who would constantly jump over the net, and apparently like Brian had told him multiple times to stop doing that because you're gonna fall and knock out your teeth. He told them that multiple times. One day he jumped over the net, his foot caught the top of the net, he fell, knocked out his 4 front teeth, and had to get 4 fake ones. Like, holy karma. And that terrified us from then on. So yeah, listen to your coach, you guys. The more you know. A normal Tuesday, tennis Tuesday. I'm come like up the stairs to where the courts are, and I'm waiting in the lobby. And there's like a few other kids there. We're all just kind of sitting there. We don't see any of the coaches. We don't see Brian. We don't see Mike. We don't see Ben. And I'm kind of questioning if there is tennis today, but I'm pretty sure there is because there's like other kids there, right? So there's also this one guy who's just kind of standing there, and he's like, hey, are y'all green ball? And we were just kind of like, yeah, because none of us had ever met this guy before. Like, we'd never seen him. And he was like, okay, cool, I'm going to be coaching you guys today. Okay, so my stranger danger radar is like through the roof 24/7. So immediately I didn't recognize this guy. He wasn't wearing a staff shirt. He just kind of like, once there was like enough kids, he was like, hey, I'm going to be teaching you guys. I thought we were going to get kidnapped. Like, I genuinely thought this guy was just like waiting for there to be enough kids and then for him to like murder us all. By the way, if that guy is watching this, or you know that guy, what did I name him? I don't think I named him anything. We're going to call him Jeremy. So I'm immediately terrified because none of the other coaches are around. Like, it's just this random guy. There's no one else on the courts. Like, I was so scared. Like, I was genuinely about to make an excuse and be like, hey, I gotta go. Like, my mom just called me and there's like an emergency. I gotta go home. I also get really scared about like possibly like everything in the entire world. So I was scared. My brain just told me like, we don't know this guy. We gotta go. Where's the coaches? We need to leave. Get out now. There's like maybe 4 guys and then me. I'm the only girl. And he comes up to me and he asks me, are you the only female in this group? Female? is that not kind of weird? No one's called me a female before. They call me a girl. Like, why? I mean, yes, I am a female, but like, is that not kind of weird to hear from like an adult middle-aged man? I don't know. By the way, if you're the guy watching this or you know that guy, I'm so sorry, like genuinely. Like you were still really nice and I'm sure you knew what you were doing. I just like, I can't help the fact that I was a bit scared at first. So anyways, so that was kind of scary. But then Mike walks in and he knows Jeremy. Mike walks in and then Jeremy's like, hey, why can't Brian coach today? Is he injured or something? And then they were talking about like how like Ecuador was playing in the World Cup. I don't really know. But basically, Mike just like told him what to do for our class and stuff. He's like, yeah, I normally do warm-ups and then we do games and then we can do a bit of serving or rallying, you know, all the good stuff. Anyways, so this guy, he keeps teaching us. I'm still kind of like sus about him. Cause like you never know when he could pull out a gun. You never know when anyone could pull out a gun. Anyways, it was just like, ugh, like, I don't know. I don't like it. Which I'm sure he's a nice guy and a good coach. He like didn't do bad. Like once we got into the lesson, he was still like a pretty good coach and like he was nice and stuff. But like the beginning like scared me so bad. And I'm sure if you're watching this, you're a really nice guy and you're a good coach. I was just terrified at first. I'm not gonna lie, you scared me. Anyways, that's kind of all. Thank you so much for watching. Maybe you should subscribe because I really want to do more story times. I really want to share random school stories because like, this is just a sneak peek. Right, Ralphie? Yeah, that's right. Okay, bye.